was a famous drunken man from a Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man at his craft, but then his number came up.
So hello everyone, and welcome to another Classical Crossover magazine interview. Today I'm excited to be joined by the Bel Canto Sopranos. So nice to see you guys.
Oh, hi, thanks for having us.
So we have Gemma, Carrie, and Angie in the group. How long have you guys known each other?
We've known each other for probably about 15 years actually, and
Okay.
we've all been working on different projects at different times, but up until a couple of years ago we suddenly were all available all at the same time, and we decided to form the Bel Canto Sopranos. So that's sort of how it's happened. So we've known each other a long time, and our voices work so well together because of that. So yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. 15 years. Wow. You guys know each other. Your on stage must be great because you can just go off each other, you know.
We do get some lovely comments actually from the audience members to say that all of our chemistry on stage is so nice to watch, and it's clear to see that, you know, we really do enjoy it, and actually we really get on off stage and on stage as well.
Absolutely. So did you guys train together or go to school together? How did it, where was it where you actually met?
Okay, I haven't said anything yet. So we've all worked for another show, and we've never worked together as a three until now. I think Jem has kind of been the solid point, and Angie and I have dipped in and out. So this is the first 3 year now we've been working as a three, which is really lovely. But no, we didn't train together. I don't think you two did. Did you?
Not together, no. So
I think we all learned a lot of our skills together. I think we learned a lot of our on stage and, you know, interacting with an audience, and I think we built a lot of that whilst we were working together, either as myself and Jem, or Jem and Carrie, or me and Carrie. So it was nice in that way to work together and to work on our rapport with an audience on stage, as well as all of us are soloists as well. So we've all been working for years and years as soloists to build that as well.
So why don't you each tell me a little bit about your own individual solo careers then? Starting, we could do Angie, Carrie, Gemma.
Yeah. Okay. I started singing when I was about 11. And I am I come from both kind of backgrounds. I was classically trained, but I have a really huge love of musical theatre, so I'm very heavily influenced by both genres. Went to college, did a classical music degree, so I didn't do the musical theatre training, so I used to do a lot of that outside of my degree. So that's where I got the training from classical, and then my love of musical theatre came in that way. And then I actually went on to it feels like a long time ago now, but the girls will probably laugh at me because I was only 17, a sweet 17. I went on Stars in Their Eyes as Sarah Brightman, which was really fun, really good fun, and I learned a little bit about live television. And after that, just worked a lot singing in theatres, at weddings. I'm a music teacher and a singing teacher as well, and I opened a theatre school, so I've done lots of working with people and teaching and lots of performing. So I've been really privileged to have lots of different experiences with you know, with the young generation right through to the older generation, which has been really lovely.
So you have to tell us a little bit more. Sorry, second, Carrie. I just cut you
no,
off there.
carry on.
Stars in Their Eyes. I don't think the US were as familiar with that. So you sing as a different performer? Like you kind of go on in their style?
So over here, when I was on the program, I was 17. So I think it must have been about 50. No, I can't even do the math. 32 now, and I was 17 then, so okay. Someone else can do the math for me. So back then it was a really popular TV show in the UK, and it was one of those sort of shows that you used to sit down on a Saturday night and you would watch, and along with Gladiators used to be on a Saturday night as well. So it was just one of those programs, and it was just a lot of fun. You go on and you sort of impersonate, I suppose, somebody else. And while I was touring, a lot of people said to me, you know, you really sound like Sarah Brightman, really sound like her. And I kind of thought, well, I'll post the video audition and see what happens. And then the next thing I know, I was up in Manchester auditioning and then filming, and just went on this real whirlwind and roller coaster of a journey. And it was just so much fun. It wasn't a competition where you won a lot of money or a contract. It was just a really fun experience, and it's one that I would treasure for a long time, because yeah, I had a star on my dressing room.
Oh, awesome. Have you shared that clip on
I don't
social?
think I'll get a star on my dressing room just yet. Sorry?
I said, have you shared that clip like on a Throwback Thursday or something? If not, we need to see that.
I haven't, no. I might have to share that after this interview.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds awesome. Okay, Carrie, now you, since I got you off. But I just had to follow up. That was so fun.
That's all right. So I didn't start singing till I was about 21. I think I had my first singing lesson at 21. I'd done kind of acting at uni, and I thought, this isn't for me. I want to try something else. So then I pursued the singing, did a musical theatre diploma at college. From then I've done some cruise ship contracts and holiday parks and things, so travelled the world with it, which has been amazing. Then I came to settle down, thought I'd come back to England, get married, all of this malarkey, and I have to find a job in England now. So I'm kind of part-time singer these days. I have a part-time day job, and then I sing in care homes kind of throughout the week, taking shows there, obviously with the girls, doing Bel Canto, couple of weddings and things, dip in and out of lots of areas now.
That's awesome. So tell me about cruise ship singing. I know a lot of crossover singers do it. What is that experience like? You live on the cruise ship and you go everywhere. And
Absolutely. So I was part of the show team rather than like a guest singer. Yeah. So I had a new family for 9 months. There was 10 of us or 12 of us, depending on the contract. Absolutely amazing. Just, it's the lifestyle as well of it. But doing 2 shows a night every night, sometimes on a rocky ship, and you know, live theatre changes all the time. There's always something thrown at you, a curveball you have to deal with, and we certainly got a few, but such a good experience. Loved it.
what was one of your favorite places that you went to with the cruise ship?
Oh, we did a lot of Norway and Iceland, so we saw the fjords, all the waterfalls coming in, which was amazing. And then obviously your Italy and your Croatia, all the sunny beach spots. Can't beat those.
That sounds amazing. How about you, Gemma?
Yeah, so I started singing for sort of events really, probably 16, 17 years ago, and weddings. And then from there, I joined a touring theatre show. And I was part of that show for probably, I think, about 12 years actually. And we went all across the country into all kinds of venues, big and small. We had various productions that we had on the road, and it's great fun to be part of. It really was. I left that tour about 2 years ago to get married and sort of, be at home and sort of, start my solo career, because I had started a solo career 17 years ago and then sort of got carried away into sort of being on tour with a production company. And then I sort of really brought it back to the roots of what do I want to be doing now. So I got married last year, and really nice little story for you actually, that Carrie and Angie were my bridesmaids, and they were so beautiful, and they were called the Ladies in Red because they had beautiful red dresses, and they actually sang me down the aisle. So it was a very emotional day to never forget, of course, but it was so lovely having the girls as part of it. So yeah, after I got married, I really sort of started building on the career that I sort of started, 15 years ago, really. And the Bel Canto Sopranos were born, and we do lots of sort of, well, right now we're supposed to be on our summer tour. Obviously, everything has changed, and you know, our tour has been postponed until 2021. We're hoping that our Christmas tour that we have in place will be going ahead as usual, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens until then. But yeah, we currently, the Bel Canto Sopranos, tour theatres, and we do events, all kinds of occasions, things that come in. So yeah, I mean, it was going to be a really busy year for us this year. And going back to sort of VE Day, we had a really busy weekend of performances, but some sold out shows actually for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which of course were all cancelled, and we worked so hard on the harmonies. We're quite sort of well known for our sort of 3-part harmonies that we bring to our music, and we'd worked so hard on them that we actually put together an online VE Day show. Yes. So you have to check us out on our YouTube channel to come and watch our VE Day show. I'm also working on at the moment another online show. What date is it, Angie?
19th.
It's Friday the 19th of June.
So
Thank you,
Carrie. Online concert is Friday the 19th of June, and that is what our show would have been. Our concert would have been called An Enchanted Evening. So we're bringing everyone a little snippet of what we would have been doing out on the road.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. You guys have put all that work into it, but now you also need to learn a new medium, right? Because when you're all three there, it's kind of easy to sing together, but the amount of work, I was watching the VE concert and I just have so much respect for you guys because to put all those 3 videos together and line them up, that's a lot of work. So who was doing all the editing of that?
And that was Angie doing all the hard work behind the scenes.
We just turn up and look pretty, don't we, Jen?
Yes, it's certainly been a busy time for me with the editing and things. But it is something I enjoy. It is something I enjoy doing. It just takes such a lot of time because it's not so bad when there's 2 of you, but when there's 3 of you, there's even more to put together. But no, I have really enjoyed it. I've learned a lot over the lockdown because we've had to adapt because we're not together, and it's so much, like you say, it's so much easier when you are together and you can, the gelling is there and you can bounce off one another. So when you're apart, it's much more difficult. So I think as a whole group, we've done really well at adapting to the new situation that we've been thrown into. And actually, we've grown a lot since the beginning, right up until now. So it's going to be really exciting. We're working on the concert currently at the moment, so it'll be really lovely to see what the final result is. But I've blocked out a whole week in my diary for getting my head down with my laptop and my headphones and editing, so I've made sure I've put the time aside.
So how do you guys practice? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Gemma.
We've got some brand new songs as well that we're doing in the concert that we've never done before all together, so we're taking on a real challenge there, so that'll be fun, and fingers crossed they go well.
Is one of you the one that comes up with the harmonies, or?
Yeah, that would be Angie again.
Angie, okay.
I promise the other 2 girls do some work. They do. I promise. They don't just turn up and look pretty. No, I think when we're all together, I think because when we used to work together before, it kind of become default that I would just put in harmonies wherever I heard them. I wasn't really restricted to when I could put them in or what they could be, so I pretty much had free reign to do whichever harmonies I liked, which was lovely. But then as us 3 came together, it kind of just became a natural sort of progression.
When hope was high and life worth living, I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. tigers come at night, with their voices soft as thunder, as they tear your hopes apart, as they turn your dream to shame.
What tends to happen is I'll maybe arrange the song, and then I'll present it to Gem, and Gem will normally go, that bit needs to be bigger, or that bit needs to be higher, because she loves the big parts in the song, so she loves to really give it some, and to really build a song up to a climax, which is fantastic. So what we'll do is I'll arrange it, and then she'll kind of say those bits need to be bigger. So during the lockdown, I've had to think in my head at times when I've been arranging it and think, right, what would Jem be saying at this point? That bit needs to be bigger. That bit needs to be bigger. So it's just become one of those kind of normal progressions that I tend to do. I'll record the voice notes, and then everybody records their parts, and it all gets. I wouldn't be able to do it without the girls. You know, I could record all 3 parts myself, I suppose, and just put 3 of me. There we go. Just have 3 of me on the video. That's fine. We'll just do that.
No, that's incredible. That really is. So do you guys have like, you're writing the harmonies, do you hear different strengths, like each sopranos, are you different kind of sopranos?
Yeah, we're all quite different actually. Although we're very similar, we're all very different. I would say that I have the sort of more operatic sound that I bring to it. I tend to sort of take the tune part, because one, I really struggle with harmonies, so it suits me really well to be singing the tune, which often lends itself to being, you know, sort of the more operatic part anyway. And Carrie really good at harmonies, and Angie really good at harmonies, so it makes sense, and we all slot in really well together. And often when we are rehearsing, we do change things, but only naturally we're going to do that. So we'll be singing something, and we might hear something new we want to add in, or something new, and we take it off in a different direction. So we all sort of blend really well, I think, in that way.
Carrie's very good at spotting like gaps in a harmony, and sort of saying, shall we try this, or can I just have a go like of something I hear in my head, and it just takes it to a completely different level, which is really nice. And just going back to what Jem was saying about voices, I think Carrie, you probably come more from the musical theatre sound, and with Jem being very classical, I think because I come from both sides of the genres, I think that's why our voices probably create such a unique sound, because it's kind of that bridge between the classical sound and the musical theatre sound, and I kind of slot into that gap in the middle. So the actual sound that gets created is not only a warm and rounded sound, but it's also very bright and colourful at the same time. So it's a really interesting kind of mix.
And how do you come up with song selections? Is it like a vote from everybody, or?
We've got like a group WhatsApp, and occasionally someone will hear a song and be like, "Oh my God, listen to this! This would be great." But it just comes from everywhere, doesn't it? It's something on the radio, or just everyone kind of inputs something they've heard.
We have our standard classics that we will do in every single show. Like, you can't do a classical concert and not do Time to Say Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
You can't not do Nessun Dorma. There are absolute, classics that we keep in most performances. And then, as Carrie said, we might hear things on the radio, or something will pop into our heads, and we want to include it, so we'll start working on it. We're doing in our online concert, we have a classical rock medley, and it's really classical crossover. We do things like Meatloaf's "Anything for Love." I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. We're adding into that Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. And it's just so fun to turn those kinds of songs into classical pieces with harmonies. It's so full, there's so much going on. So we like a challenge. So I think we probably pick our songs thinking, well, sort of last year we did this, and now we've got to find something to sort of up our game and find something for the next one.
It's raising the bar for each concert, and somehow we manage to raise the bar each time we do a performance. So then the pressure comes with having to then hit that bar and then take it up another level as well. At Christmas, we gave ourselves a real challenge at Christmas, because we decided to do the Carol of the Bells, and I think it probably drove all three of us a little bit bonkers whilst we were learning it, but it just came across so well because it was so complicated, but it just sounded really impressive, and it was really fun to do. Once we'd got past the panic of learning it, it was actually really fun to perform. But then for this summer, it's okay, where do we take it from there? So it can be challenging sometimes, because people have an expectation when they come to watch you, and you then have to hit that and surpass it every time you do a concert. So it's quite a lot of pressure sometimes, but it's good because we like a challenge, as Gem says, like to get our teeth into things.
So you guys have mainly so far been like a live touring show. Do you see yourselves releasing singles, an album, or? Yeah,
absolutely. We're working on sort of our next project is to be able to have an album on sale. So we're working on that now. Hopefully, when that's done, we'll be able to let you know the details.
Oh, awesome! Very cool. And how are you guys keeping? Besides, Angie sounds like, I don't know how you get any breath with all of this. I just did the classical crossover magazine concert, and that's just one performer at a time. I have so much respect for you. But how are you guys keeping busy besides that? You're doing lessons online, that sort of thing?
Who wants to go first?
Yeah, Carrie.
Well, I'm teaching online as well as the editing. So I'm sort of flitting between. I spend a lot of time with my laptop. I had to buy a new one because my old one couldn't keep up with what I needed it to do. So it was like, no, I need something that can keep up with the workload. So no, I'm just doing a lot of online teaching. So I've had to adapt my singing and piano lessons onto online, which has been a challenge, but actually now I've learned how to do that. It's working really well, and I'm actually really happy. It's actually quite nice working from home, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm really enjoying actually spending so much time on home after being on tour for 12 years or so,
living out of a suitcase.
Yeah, it's so nice being at home, spending some time with my husband, and just being in the house is so lovely. So I'm really enjoying that, and really enjoying getting to know how to record these songs at home. And I've been uploading songs to my own social media channels, and just sort of I'm trying to embrace it, really. I don't want to come out of lockdown and think I didn't really do anything. So I really want to feel like I've achieved something. So yeah, I've sort of just been embracing it, really.
Yeah, in some ways you're probably busier, right? Because you were saying you were doing a song a day for a while on your...
Yeah, that's right. I started off performing a song every day and uploading it because I just felt so responsible as a performer to help to entertain the nation right now, because you know, especially when it was, you know, the lockdown is easing slightly now, but you know, in the very beginning, so many vulnerable people locked at home on their own, and I just thought, you know, if they can listen to these songs, listen to the music, they can put in a request, it just helps people to stay in touch with everybody. And I just felt so strongly that that's what I could offer, that's the only thing I could really do to help or make a difference. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, really.
Yeah, and I think in a way, obviously once we get live performances, everyone will be so happy to go back, but it's really brought an international community to see your concerts that maybe wouldn't have been able to go before. So I think it'll probably carry on to some extent even after all of this is over, right?
Absolutely, I hope so. You know, we've been working hard on these online concerts we've been doing, and I think it has, as you say, it has opened our audience up to people that might not have come to see us before. But hopefully when we are, you know, if we do get to do our Christmas tour, hopefully we'll have some new people coming to see us.
Absolutely. How about you,
Hopefully,
Carrie?
though, if we keep going with the virtual concerts, we can do them together. Because I feel really lonely. I miss having you girls next to me.
It
It makes such a difference, doesn't it? When I can imagine what you're doing, but you're not there.
No.
So hopefully we'll move forward to group virtual concerts. Be nice.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
yeah.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far.
otherwise, I have been doing a lot of sewing. I've spent a lot of time with my sewing machine. I don't know if it's the same in America, but had a lot of volunteers have been making kind of wash bags and scrubs and headbands and things.
Mm-hmm.
There are some of my friends in the village with hundreds and hundreds of items gone off to carers and hospitals, which is really nice. Yeah, a couple of singing lessons online. I've managed to do a couple of care homes in their courtyard. If they have the facilities, I can go through a gate, just kind of throw an extension cable through the window, and then I can sing to them as they sit in their bedrooms or on a balcony or something, which has been really lovely to do that.
That's amazing. They must love that, because it's so hard. I know we used to go to, as I was mentioning before, and they love that contact. So the fact that you're still doing that and still being there to entertain them must feel incredible for them. Yeah,
it's lovely. I mean, it's very minimal compared to what it was, but I think because they just don't have any entertainment now, it makes so much difference. So yeah, really nice thing to do.
And another thing you guys have been doing is some collaborations. Angie, on your own, you've done a couple things with Jay, and then as a group, I think you guys also sang with Jay Druff. So tell us a little bit about that. And
yes, well, we virtually met Jay through Instagram, because we followed each other's profiles, and when someone follows your profile, you kind of think, oh, who are you and what do you do, and you kind of have a little look. And I had a look on Jay's profile and I thought, wow, his voice is incredible, absolutely incredible. So I thought, I wonder whether he'd be up for doing a duet or joining us as a trio and featuring on one of the songs. And I thought it was just one of those moments where I thought, oh, what the heck, I'm just gonna message and just see what happens. And he came back and said, yeah, would love to send over what songs you want me to record. And I actually, to be honest, I was a little bit taken back to think, oh okay, oh, this is happening. Oh, fab. So then we just went ahead, and it's just gone from one collaboration to the other. And Jem will probably tell you about one of the bigger collaborations that we did. But no, it's been lovely. And I think the whole lockdown, to try and find some positives out of it has made people really reach out and made people much more accessible. And we're singing with people that we'd have never probably met Jay in person, but it's meant that we're able to connect with people and other singers, and it's opened us up to knowing lots and lots of other singers and groups out there, which is fantastic.
Absolutely. Gemma, do you want to talk about, it was We Are the World that you guys did together, right?
Yeah, that's right. When sort of this pandemic first started, that song, I felt so strongly, we need to do this song, we need to get it out there, because it was just so appropriate. So there were a number of us doing it, and Jay joined us for that. So it was really lovely. If you haven't seen it yet, you can go onto our YouTube channel and find it there. Jay's also joining us for our online concert on the 19th of June. So he'll be making it with us again.
He's a very busy man these days.
I know. He seems to be everywhere.
He's everywhere.
But like you're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gemma.
He is in high demand.
Yeah.
I said he's in demand. That's for sure.
No, but what you were saying is so true, because there's so many amazing classical crossover artists, and I think sometimes we're only aware, through Classical Crossover Magazine, I get to learn more, but even still, sometimes I'm just like, I don't see all the messages. Like Angie, I think you wrote me a couple times and I thought I replied, and I don't think I did. So when we did our first concert, Gemma just commented, I was like, does anyone want to be a part of it? And I wasn't really familiar with Gemma, and she commented, and then I got to discover her, and then I got to see your VE concert. So it's so great to be able to see all these amazing artists now connecting in a way that we wouldn't have prior to this.
Yeah, it's definitely bringing us all together from across the nation. I mean, we would never have met if it wasn't for this. So, that's really great, just that on its own.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you guys' plans once this ends? What are some things that you're looking forward to do? Let's do Gemma, Carrie, Angie. You're also polite.
You don't want to interrupt me tonight, are we? Okay. Was it Jem first?
Yeah, let's do Gemma, Carrie, Angie.
Okay. What am I looking forward to? the most thing I'm looking forward to is being able to hug my parents, as I'm sure we all do. So once that's done, and that'll be a really long hug, that will.
10 weeks worth.
Yeah, 10 weeks worth of a hug that will be. But I'm really looking forward to just getting back into normal life, just performing. We mentioned earlier before our interview started, where I live, we had a sort of a VE day, a social distancing street party, and my neighbours don't really know that I sing, apart from my next door neighbours, because they hear me and they enjoy listening to it. But we had this street party, and I sang for them outside. I set up all my sort of equipment and just sang last night at the proms and just some numbers. And I think everyone was quite shocked in my street because, you know, they didn't realise. And that made me really miss performing, actually. I'm looking forward to having a real life audience. That's probably my next wish, my next thing on my wish list.
How about you, Carrie?
I won't really be going back to work for a while. I'm actually pregnant. So my lockdown I'm just growing. So we'll probably get to being released and being able to go back to work, and then I won't be able to. So I'll have another 9 months just sitting at home. No, I mean,
busy, don't worry.
There's a couple of concerts that are definitely, you know, planned, and I want to do them anyway. I'll have grandparents to, you know, take care of baby and stuff. But no, I definitely want to do bits of work, and especially it's been tough not working for 2 months. You have all these kind of plans. Now's a good time to have a baby. We're financially there, and then suddenly all the money's cut off. So yeah. We can't cut off work completely going forward, but definitely taking it easy, but doing bits of shows, having the live audience would be lovely. It's weird singing to a camera, but yeah.
That's amazing news though, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How about you, Angie?
I think I'm looking forward to, like Gemma said, being able to hug my parents, because they've popped into the garden occasionally, and it just takes everything in you to not throw your arms around them and give them a really big hug. I can actually remember the last time I hugged my mum about 10 weeks ago. For some particular reason, it sticks in my head. I think I hadn't seen them for a couple of weeks, and I just keep holding on to that in my head, thinking, oh, soon I can give her a really big cuddle. But as well as that, I think the same, just getting all three of us into a room together. So one, we can have a baby shower and shower Carrie with lots and lots of gifts, and lots of love and cuddles, because we haven't actually seen Carrie, and we saw Bump when it was very, very small, and that was, you know, a few months ago. So it would be really lovely if we could see Carrie before Bump is baby, so that we can just all get together. But we have a little bit of a tradition as a trio. It's a bit of a strange tradition, but we all get together and we rehearse, and we have jacket potato with cheese and beans, and that's what we have. And I think if we could all get together, have a really lovely rehearsal, and then sit and have jacket potato, cheese and beans, I would be a very happy bunny.
That sounds really good to me. Yeah.
That sounds really good. And me and Jem will have your Prosecco, Carrie, so don't worry. It won't go to waste.
I bet it won't.
That sounds like an awesome tradition. It's been so nice speaking to you, ladies.
And to you. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And really thanks for being part of the concert. Carrie, all the best of luck with your new amazing news, and guys, with all your projects. Hopefully we'll get to do more things together going forward. So
yeah, that would be lovely.
All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye for now. We look forward to seeing you at your concert June 14th?
19th.
19th. Okay. All right, so everyone join June 19th on the Bel Canto Sopranos page. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
He's the boogie woogie bugle boy.